there's always a bit of truth in legends. And I've loved that saying, and I'll say it again for you guys. There's always a bit of truth in legends. And I think that can be applied to religious texts, that can be relied to ancient texts as well, philosophical ancient texts, what have you. There's always a bit of truth in legends. And all of these legends of history, of ancient cultures, when prior to antiquity and post antiquity, like you would hear these stories, you would hear about these these people or these areas in history, these great battles, and for a time they were considered fake. For example, the story of Troy, the Battle of Troy. People thought for many years, for a very long time, that it was just a story. A story that was told in the Iliad prior to the Odyssey. And then we find out Troy actually existed, and they actually find a partial wall that turns out to be the wall that was of the city of Troy. So that's what I mean by when there's always a bit of truth in legends, is that we were told that these legends are just, they're fake, they're stories, they're metaphors. But then archaeologists, anthropologists, whatever you have, geologists, they come by and then they're like, hey, that legend that we all thought was just a metaphor or a myth or a story? Turns out it's actually real, and here is the geological evidence. Here is a carbon dating evidence. Here are relics that prove this story is true, what have you. So that's why I think we have to be open minded to the continuing changes and rewriting of our history and the rewriting of our legends that we have been told or learned throughout history, because it's starting to become a theme that they end up becoming true.